This is something I agree with, and therefore I scrolled down to look at the comments. That's not to say that I wouldn't have scrolled down to see the comments if I hadn't agreed with it. In fact, I actually scrolled down to see the comments of most posts that strike my attention, because hey, I suffer from Facebook OCD. Anyway, what I encountered among the comments sparked the strongest inner Facebook SJW rage I have felt in ages. Some guy had commented, claiming that Islamist terrorism can only be explained in terms of a culture clash between the West and Islam, whatever that may be. He argued that Western culture is superior to any other culture for, among other things, it had been responsible for ending slavery. Right. He ended his little essentialist rant by telling my friend to be ashamed of himself, as he was supposedly a disgrace to the Netherlands. Evidently, this person was not just a person, but the embodiment of all evil, and he had to be taken out. So I loaded my discursive guns and jumped on him like there was no tomorrow. After some heavy shots had been fired back and forth in this ideological battle, he came up with the following proposal. You and me in front of a camera, we're gonna sit down together and have a little talk about this. And whatever happens, we'll both put the video on our Facebook walls. I'm not gonna type for hours about a topic when I can talk you under the table in 5 minutes. As you might have guessed, talking someone under the table is a Dutch expression that means to completely obliterate someone in an argument. He had put me into a difficult position here. On the one hand, I really did not want to meet the embodiment of all evil in real life. On the other hand, I had to preserve my honor in what had become an ego battle between us two cis men. So I accepted the offer. I have time in about 3 weeks, he wrote. Deal, message me by that time, I replied. The next 3 weeks were absolute terror. I kind of expected him to forget about it and not message me, but still, there was this intense fear that he would, and that I would have to face the embodiment of all evil in real life. Every day, I stalked the guy's Facebook profile to gauge exactly how evil he was. I didn't find much more than a picture of him ice skating and one of him in orange football garb and sunglasses, his arm resting around the girl's shoulder. I kept on visualizing the imminent discussion between us, imagining what sort of arguments he would come up with, and constantly running through my own arguments, which began to repeat themselves like a broken record. Fortunately, the event gradually escaped my memory over time, and peace and order were restored in my mind. 2 weeks later, when I opened my laptop for a little Facebook session, of which I have about 500 a day, my heart skipped a beat. There was a message from the embodiment. Are you up for a little chat this weekend? I saw my fingers moving towards the keyboard and typing a confirmatory reply. Let's just go chill at the Roost, he said. They have cheap beer there. That's good food for discussions. Where did this friendly tone come from? Was it a trap? Perhaps he was going to kidnap me together with a gang of fellow fascists who would bring me to a secret PVV concentration camp somewhere in Limburg, where they would teach me to love my country. I navigated my bike onto the industrial area at which Roost was located. Train tracks on the right, tall buildings with neon letters spelling out the names of prominent newspapers straight ahead. Fuck, this was the perfect place for a kidnapping. Why had I been so stupid? I was just some naive socialist that I had managed to trigger. I was now cycling to a bar at a Dutchy industrial area to argue some right-wing guy in order to try to convince him of the inherent goodness of humanity. To my surprise, however, I made Roost without anyone pulling me off my bike. But perhaps it was too early to celebrate. Who knows, the fascists had already taken over Roost and were now hiding inside, waiting for me. But hey, if I died, it would be an honorable death. So I proceeded into the bar. After also managing to enter Roost and ordering a beer, I started to calm down. Perhaps I had exaggerated things a little bit. I felt my phone vibrate in my pocket. Another message. The embodiment of all evil informed me that his bike chain had broken, and that he would be 5 minutes late. I decided to sit in a central position so that he would be able to find me, taking little nervous sips from my beer while awkwardly looking around me. Everyone was just talking to one another. No need for suspicion. About 5 minutes later, I saw the embodiment. I recognized him from his profile picture. I waved at him. He approached me and shook my hand. I had touched the hand of the embodiment. But that was not the biggest shock. He was shorter than me. And now this means something. And I need to provide a little bit of background here on some internalized patriarchal instinct. In the world of alpha males, one's height determines one's place in the hierarchy. And being a male person around global average height living in the Netherlands, I'd always been so uncomfortably at the bottom of that hierarchy that I had accepted it as part of my identity. Now, whenever I meet another male person who's shorter than me, which is about as rare as finding a pair of mating unicorns, my brain jams. I simply don't know what to do. An intense feeling of guilt comes over me, such that I have the urge to apologize for being taller. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be taller than you, I wanted to say. But I would shrink if I could, but I can't. But I didn't say that. The embodiment of all evil, who would now become the embodiment of all paradoxes, turned out to be a rather pleasant person. It turned out that we actually agreed on many things, such as global warming. And he actually said he learned some things from me. Yay! That is not to say that he still held views for which I would shoot him in case civil war broke out. But hey, at least we had a nice discussion.